it's come up, Roxanne. It's a good title. Love this.
I like it too. If that yellow icon in the right-hand corner of my screen is correct, then we are live. It's just gone 9:30. It's Tuesday, the 20th of October, November. November, is it November? It's November, right?
Yeah, 20th.
Yeah, 20th of November.
2000. Oh, chomp.
We are four ladies.
Hey, hey.
Hi.
Hello, Nora, Karen, Dave Murphy, Dave Marsh.
I love it.
Patricia Steer.
Shout outs already.
Donald Trump.
Right, hopefully you can hear us okay. I've got myself, MARILYN WISBEY, Cosmic Cat, Rose Tinted Monocle, and myself. We are four ladies chatting flat live tonight. We're going to be going through a various amount of subjects tonight, somewhat of our journeys, of how we've got to the point that we're at now, and where we are with things now that we're here. I think we can all reasonably say beyond any doubt at all, we are on a flat plane of existence. I know I'm not living on what I thought I was. What about you?
Well, because I'm older than everyone on flat Earth. Anyway, 8-9 years, you know, of age. Anyway, I'll tell you more about that. But I think the money system, the flat earthers should start their own bank worldwide.
How about we barter? Like, I'll scratch your back and you scratch mine.
It makes sense, doesn't it? The community.
Proper,
come out of the money altogether.
come out of the money. No, whatever we need, it's there. Whether it's money, whatever.
Yeah, that whole sense of community.
We've got to have a corporate, not corporate, co-op.
Yeah.
Co-op, corporate, non-licensed, in your face, put your money there, and we start blooming.
Yeah. Well, I knew I wasn't spinning as a child. I absolutely couldn't believe looking up at the sky. That's why I'm Cosmic Cat. I'm obsessed with the cosmos, always been a stargazer and just drawn and thrilled to it. And I just couldn't fathom, we can't be spinning. I'm seeing the same stars every night and I don't feel anything moving.
Yeah.
So, you know, I knew it as a child and I didn't like school. I liked my friends, but I didn't like school.
Yeah.
The institutionalisation.
No, I didn't.
I hated it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then when I left school, you know, I discovered alcohol, maybe during school. And that was my way to escape from what I knew something really wrong was going on with the world. Even as a young child, I can remember the news being on around my nan's and everyone stopping to watch the news, this negative box in the corner. And I just thought, this ain't right. Why is everything stopped for the news and everyone watching a bad vibration? So, yeah, so then I started to read at about 17, 18, Louise Hay. And then I was really connected then because I knew we was magical energy beings and so I could relate to all her work. I also started reading David Icke and then I got the balance of how the world was run. You know, I know he's on his tangent, whatever, but back then I was only young. And then, of course, everyone thought I was Crazy Cat, which, you know, Cosmic Cat. Got to be a little bit crazy. No one would sort of listen to, you know, the two sides of the pendulum with the David Icke or the Louise Hay.
Yeah.
So I just partied. I partied for 30 years. And that was how I thought, well, I still want to feel good.
That. Yeah, I like that.
And I gave a lot of love out at these places, you know. I was always helping people and lifting their spirits. But when I discovered Flat Earth, I mean, that was such a beautiful thing because, you know, I was right. And it just made so much sense. And I studied for months because I really wanted to be really right before I mugged myself up. And I can remember March 2016, I absolutely knew it for real. And it was like, we do live in an amazing wonderment realm. And it has been hijacked and harnessed by darker powers and in a system programmed and So I was elated and then depressed at the same time. And then when I wanted to blurt it to the world and no one would listen or even contemplate looking into it, just shut down, then, you know, I got really depressed again and drinking again. And,
but in 2013, Kat introduced me to Flat Earth after being a carer for my mother with Alzheimer's. That terrible disease.
Yeah.
They go on about cancer, this, cancer.
Don't talk about Alzheimer's though. My mum had that. Yeah.
It's worse.
Yeah.
But as we all know, those that are awake about cancer treatments, the chemo. As my mum was deteriorating after we buried her, Kat went, no, she went, you're upset. Flat Earth, and she went, and I did go on YouTube, I listened, and it got me out of my grief.
It pulled her right out because she had an exciting distraction, but also everything you could relate to, you know, when you was told.
But I didn't mug her off, you know, like some arseholes in the globe is. They're so brainwashed.
They don't even look, do they? They don't even contemplate looking.
She'd give me a seed, and it's called seed. I don't like the word activism. I think it's mainstream.
Can I give everyone a disclaimer? Because we were talking about that after, and I know that people I speak to privately, you know who you are. I've mentioned already, I don't like the word activist. It doesn't sit nicely with me. No. I don't like the word campaigner either. When I first started making content, I used to just say spreading awareness. Like, do you want to join me to spread awareness? And then the activism word came out, and activist and activate. And you kind of get caught on the bandwagon of just saying the word that's already there. I can't remember what you said, but you said it's like a propaganda word. It's like it's there already.
Military.
And it's already been labelled.
Yeah, it's already been used
like the word
to the
propaganda.
Max. Yeah, we've got to think of new words anyway because
planting seeds. Planting seeds, waking people up.
Yeah. No, well, that is what you said. You gave her that seed, which is
she gave
she's
me
at with it now.
Kat gave me the seed,
but you was prepared to listen and look and explore.
I didn't mug her off and say you're off your trolley or you're nuts. I went away and we've had such an exciting time since at different meetups, Leamington Spa and Cornwall camping.
Has it brought you to a different point in your relationship with this?
It definitely brought us closer,
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, because we're the only two in the family.
I was going to say
we're the black horses. No, the black sheep. No, there's white sheep and there's where you black sheep, and they go, oh, you're off your trolley. Yeah. Mama went, oh, you've got to have your head examined. And then when I met the psychiatrist,
it goes in swings and roundabouts, doesn't it? Because just like she's woken you.
He went, I find you very interesting. It's before, because back then, when you analyse everything as you get older, you've got to take everything face value and don't be in fear about anything, because that's how they want you to be. When you go through everything, you go, take 10 breaths and go, so what if whether you're the best musician, best vocalist, best model, they're still going to batter you.
You're absolutely right.
The evil people that are getting paid lots of money, pimps.
Well, we're part of a system, aren't we?
Yeah. Once you know who they are, you
can avoid them.
But the thing is you've got to concentrate on yourself anyway and
work on you.
Because you're not going to change anything until you raise your own vibes.
I agree.
And
I agree.
You know, sometimes I've had to be blissfully selfish.
Yes.
And even retracted or hibernating, but it just keeps your vibes protected and then expanded.
Yeah. No. I'd say.
I
what about you?
We definitely live in any contraction and expansion, just the way the plane and the toroidal field work. In my understanding of where we live.
I like that because we get to hear someone else's, perspective on things. How long have you been awake for?
I've been different levels of awake for a long time. I was always the weird geeky child growing up.
Okay.
And So I was doing all the charities, running the things in the school and being good at this and that and the other, but also not really making very many friends because I didn't really think and feel the same way as everybody else. I would be questioning and stuff. And then life gets in the way. I had a child really early, and then that condenses you because then now you're under a whole new set of rules and you're still trying to...
I think everyone who's had kids knows that feeling. You're under a whole new set of rules. As soon as you're in mummy mode, I call it mummy mode.
It's grandmummy mode. Oh gosh, that's what we got to look forward to, isn't it? Yeah. So,
excuse me.
But I always knew I was a spiritual being having a human experience. I was really lucky because even though I grew up in a multi-faith family, I was the second generation of people that wasn't forced to join that religion or a religion or the religion, but the spiritual and personal growth to study all of them.
Right. Okay.
So I started to notice all the similarities between all the different paradigms so I think the label I would have chosen for myself back then was omniscient or something like that, which means you see the similarities throughout. And then my son has vaccine-induced autism, and that changed the game completely again.
Wow. So I don't know about anybody else, but this isn't the first time I've heard
vaccine,
this.
See?
Vaccine.
Definitely.
How did you just say that sentence?
Vaccine-induced.
Vaccine-induced autism.
Yes. And I only say that because he had a measles-type virus a week after his second MMR. They wouldn't even say that it was measles caused by the vaccination, and then he slowly regressed. Yeah. No talking, no eating, really extreme challenging behaviour. And because I'd done studies on crystals, vibration, colour therapy, yada, yada, yada. And I used all those tools in my box to try and fix him. And he's done really, really well. He started talking at 5. He's now a comedian. He's now so clever. He's working the system because he's in a special school.
Rightfully so. Well done.
Yeah, he's my son.
It's not working the system, it's called fucking the system.
Yes. You know, so a document that allows him to have a curriculum that suits his needs, and he plays on that completely. Brilliant. It's fantastic.
Well, and well done for having a mummy that's put him in that position in there in the first place and finding that for him.
So for a very condensed amount of time, my life purely revolved around the family unit needing Alex's needs, trying to also cope with his big brother and get on with stuff that he needed, and going through lots of other personal shit all at the same time. And then
can I interrupt, Marianne? You know all these people connected to autism, the teachers did you have any support on that?
I've had varied support all throughout my life, some professional and family and friends. One of the first things that happens when your child is with special needs is a lot of your normal friends disappear. So the normal mummy in the playground support that you used to have slowly starts to erode away.
I'll stop you. That's the same when my father got 30 years.
Yes.
I was 9 years of age. Me and my sister 8, 9. Ostracised, discriminated.
Yeah.
Within a community that's supposed to care.
Yes. Yeah.
So I can.
Yeah.
Until people have had experiences against discrimination.
Oh, without a doubt.
Everything. Across the board. It's not Muslim, black, Irish. It's everyone today.
It's like true perspective, like within our community, is I tell this story of when Alex was quite young. He was 3, and we'd gone to the swimming baths. And he at the time he had this long vibrating tube to help calm him down when he was starting to have a meltdown. And the bus that we were on was just gone past my sister's house, and he basically wanted to go, and there was nothing stopping him, and he was going to try and get out the window. Now at the front of the bus there's a couple of older ladies, our elders, and they were tutting about the bad parenting and stuff like that. And I found my voice and able to say, that if any of you are professionals in autism, would you please come and help me? If not, please shut the F up.
So can I stop you there? Why don't schools teach the way about life when being on the bus? You know, because I've experienced that. I'm 64 years old.
He would have been too young to access that type of
Not
support.
you, not him, but you. What I'm saying is, you know, the way people have been brought up, you know, they should have empathy. Don't you think a little bit of teaching?
Well, that's what we're lacking in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's a perfect
compassion.
example. When you need the support the
Little
most,
scripture,
it's not...
a little verse or a little hours on day to day about people around in our schools, you know.
Well, the thing is, schools don't like to do what they're meant to do legally in the first place, especially when it comes around SEN. So if they don't do that, then it's not surprising they have no real morals.
That are SEN teachers, and the rigmarole they've had to go through just getting trained to the level that they're at, and the amount of monetary input that they have to put in, and they're not supported. They're actually, one of my friends has had to make incredible leaps financially, family-wise, just to get the training in order to do what, and she's doing send from home. So she's a childminder.
Marvelous.
She's a childminder.
Marvelous.
So, and she's got 4 kids of her own,
That's
and
incredible.
the youngest is 2. So there is people out there that are like yourself that need to stand up for it and go, well, look, someone else isn't going to do this.
That's right.
Even things like sign language and stuff. It takes people to start learning it and take it on and adapt that kind of way of life in order to break the system. That horrible system we were talking about earlier on. I liked my friends. I actually liked the socially inclusive part of being at school. I couldn't deal with the institutionalized situation at school.
The bell going, uniform.
So it would be safe to say we all pretty much bunked off at some point, or most of it.
Yeah. But I'll say this: I bunked and passed.
Yeah, I passed.
No revision.
My revision.
No revision, no homework.
No. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to call it a fluke or blag. I don't know if you can blag your GCSEs though, so I don't think it is a blag. I think it's more so of a fluke. But I think it's fair to say that we were not lovers of the institutionalized education system. But I really want to pick up on something, how you said that, because like I said, I've spoken to 2 people, one of which I don't actually know in person, and I won't say who she is, but you know who you are actually. So if you're watching, you know who you are. If you're watching, and she might be watching, and if she is watching, then you know who I'm talking about. But I had a specific conversation with someone a couple of months ago about this very subject, and it really hit home for me because I have a couple of friends that have autistic kids, and it's incredible the lengths that they go to avoid actually falling into that net of the institutionalized education system. Because it is no matter how you want to look at it, it's institutionalized, whether you're looking at early stages education right through to university and scholar education.
And the hoops they make you jump through in order to get the most basic support is ridiculous. It truly,
no common sense, no compassion,
none whatsoever. It's still very much the medical model. Even though with the reforms it is meant to bring it back to the social model, which it means person-centered. So it's about the needs of the individual, and then holistically the support network, family, instead of it, this is what's on offer. If you don't use it, you lose it, or get on with it. You're on.
To find it, isn't
Absolutely.
It? I mean, you've got to go through some kind of rigmarole with your local authority. But you don't get pointed in that direction. You've got to go and find that help and access it for yourself, and then go through some kind of crazy 16-point check. And if and only if, and it's a big if,
even worse.
If you tick all the boxes, then you'll get yes. And
if you're lucky,
and even if you're lucky. So something does need to change. Doesn't it?
I was lucky enough to be part of some sort of reform, and in my local authority, I was a participating parent, which means you're an activist, actively being a parent, getting involved in change within your local authority. At the time, because it was 2008, 2009, there was a new program called Aiming High for Disabled Children, run by the current government. I'm not going to get political, so I'm not going to say which colour they are. And that was specifically about bringing more parents and carers of children with disabilities and medical conditions into helping to create services to actually have a better outcome for everybody. Financially, using resources, etc., etc. So I was actually able to be part of all of that, and actually created my job within the local authority, which I then carried out, and it was purely about information, guidance, and advice, supporting the families, navigating the system.
Information, guidance.
Basic structures.
And because I was a parent going through exactly the same thing, or will be going through the same thing because of age difference, regardless of the disability. And so that was my way of always having a voice and getting in trouble and not saying everything that the council always wanted me to say, but always providing results, because I connected people with the right resources. I've always been an interfering old ninny.
No, but at least you're
I stand up for what I believe in.
Yeah, because there's loads of mothers whose
absolutely, and it's exhausting. So I gave up. My son is a teenager now, and for lots of personal circumstances, 2 years ago, I'd given up work. So for a little while, I had like a real depression because I felt like I was letting down my families, and it's like, but sometimes you've got to take care of yourself. And through that time, it was an introspective time. So I got to re-look at my spiritual self and get back, why am I feeling grumpy? Oh, it's because you're not wearing your crystals, or you've been eating the wrong crap again, or because I know what works for me and what doesn't. And so instead of doing all these things for everybody else, it's actually kind of taking care of me. And so because I've got all this free time, and I'm used to working at a level like literally on the go all the time, and now I'm just mum at home doing the carer bits and pieces and not much else. So I'd been following Santos Bonacci for a while.
Fascinating.
And I'd kind of caught up with him, so I was now waiting for his next episode. And that's the episode he came out that he was a flat earther. And I'm
so
like,
okay. This is, I've never heard this angle before. So yeah.
And I'm like, So I've paused it, and I started to argue with him. Obviously, the pause screen. That
just
of course it's
realised,
and then it's like I realised I was actually agreeing because of my understanding of what I feel we're living on. I understood toroidal fields and vibration, Nikola Tesla, all those free energy. I felt it, I know it. When I'm in tune with the universe, I'm really in tune. And the conscious meditating and manifesting stuff is sometimes so scary that you have to go, right, I really have to be careful what I'm thinking about, because the magnetism of it is just too much, and it's a lot more complicated than you think. Because
are you aware of things like that as well? Like that whole
we're really energy.
We're really good at attracting the negativity.
Manifested lots of things.
Yes,
I read that
years ago. And what the bleep.
I read that in like 2008.
Yes,
2007.
And what the bleep.
I mean, I read that, but then you kind of go on from that even more.
You do.
You spread out.
I don't know. Sorry, I don't know if I was facing the wrong way when I said that. I keep forgetting the camera's there, so I'm kind of like, I was just saying to the girls, Rhonda Bryan, was that her name?
Yes.
The Secret, that book that she wrote back in the early millennium. Was it? Like early 2000s.
Yeah.
I read it around 2006, 7 or 8, and it was called The Secret, and about the law of attraction and
because I was very much into the Hicks, Abraham, Jerry and Esther Hicks, and I went to see them. I've sort of, since the law of attraction, gone on from that a bit more, because they're just saying, it's the law of attraction, but you have to have your whole frequency ready to attract back, and they don't give any of that advice.
A mood board does not cut it.
No, you can't just
The secret is almost like a cup of tea without milk.
Yeah.
It's like not quite full.
The non-dairy milk.
Yeah. It was like it gave you a nice bit of the ethos of it, but it's not quite the full puzzle.
Yeah.
It's still like they're keeping the secret back.
You know, there's a lot more going on with the thoughts. I mean, I stopped watching television and well, stopped reading the paper back then.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah.
I don't watch television anymore. In fact, it offends me if I walk in a room. You know, the whole energy that comes out of it. I know Marilyn's got me years ago.
Look from my front room.
There's no TV, no. And then my kids go, but you're always on the internet.
It's different.
And I go, but hang on, I'm talking to conscious people. It's a lonely well-being place, and it's my lifeline. And I'm learning all the time, and keeps me upbeat.
Yeah, it does for me as well. I don't like having that energy around me. I don't like it at all.
Can't bear it.
I do have TVs in my house. Obviously, my kids play computer games and whatnot, but we don't actually have the TV on perpetuating whatever crap is on that channel.
No.
And I do notice it when I go to my friend's house and stuff. You go into the front room and it's like,
I must admit, I still do watch documentaries and stuff, but now it's to extrapolate what they're not telling us instead of it just going, oh wow, isn't that amazing? So like the other day there was this thing on Secret Histories or something by Michael Portillo, and it was really cool because it was about an old fire station complex that in the East End that's going to be like pulled down, and it's all abandoned, and you're going around and you're realizing how they used to take care of the families where there was residences, and it was all on the same place because firefighters are really important, you know. And it's just like a whole thing. Now they can't even afford to eat, and they're on benefits as well. You know, it's just the difference of we're meant to be better off in this age and everything. Anyway, apart from that, it's also to do with the free, like with all the ceramic tiles everywhere, and then it makes you think. Free energy.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started on free energy, because I've just started to talk about Mudbloods with Richard Lopez.
Connecting the dots.
And apparently, who was it that was telling me? Where? Do you have that? You don't know whose hangout you were in?
Yes, it gets
And was it said on the hangout or was it said in the chat room? Someone said that the pyramids weren't.
Oh, the pyramids.
They weren't burial chambers. They were energy chambers, and they were like hydro energy. And all this
lots of pyramids.
I've been inside the pyramids in Egypt.
Have you?
Yeah, I had
a lot of you know.
What did you get from it when you were there?
Well, I was stoned, and I wanted to get out.
We had to crouch down, me and my mum.
Really?
Yeah, you do have to pull up a bit.
So I mean, just even with the free energy and ancient energy, and when I mean ancient energy, I know we can only kind of maybe take with a pinch of salt certain things that have been written in history because of someone's story, right? But with people talking about this mudblood situation, and with us being in the year 2018, and obviously we know that once upon a time there was a year zero, and we know that people weren't walking around going, "What year was in Unborn?"
I'm saying after we do the 25th Hyde Park flat smacking, I don't like the name Activism.
But you can't mind smacking.
I like red pilling. I do like saying red pilling. I feel like red pilling.
I don't like taking
red and blue. It's like politics.
It does, yeah. So
it's like the blue pill, the red pill.
So we're just going to go and say what we're doing,
On the subject of politics, why can't we have a party worldwide that's not red, not blue?
Go on, say it. Go on.
Flat. Flat self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Okay, vote for Marilyn for the flat party. Okay.
And what a party it is.
Marilyn 2020. Yeah. Flat vote. I want the
there must
flat
be
vote.
some higher, intelligent, educated flat earthers.
They're flattened down, aren't they? You know, if you pipe up.
I think what we should do is walk away from politics.
Yes, it's an old dinosaur of a system.
Yeah, it is. We need to walk away
No,
from it.
in my book, being 65,
Wait, you can't
you
see
can't
Marilyn.
be enjoying them. Put it right up their arses and go, we the people.
We the people.
Truthers. We don't need to be governed by a load of 800 lords.
Hey, wasn't there a song that you said?
Lords.
Education.
800 old fogies, lords, in the Houses of Parliament.
No, it's a complete old system. It doesn't work.
They don't need the education they give
They're
us.
getting bigger, these old bastards.
But that's why new grassroots
legalised
have come
banditos,
through, haven't they? And just new suggestions and common sense. I did write a poem once. Hang on. We need people who care in positions of decisions, and when do we want them now? Can't remember from that what we book. Shut your effing beaks.
I love it. Shut your effing beaks.
Yeah, so Santos Bonacci came out. I'm arguing at the screen, and then I found myself arguing, yeah, of course it's flat, because if the toroidal fields work, you know, when you like the difference between all the studying of how everything's meant to be, and even him doing it with the sphere in the middle and all the things, and it's like, yeah, it all makes sense, and then all of a sudden it makes perfect sense because of the extra bit of the compression in the middle, and then you're like, that's what matter is, isn't it? And then you're like, that's what matter is. We are a spiritual being. This everything that I've ever thought. All those things that people think I'm weird. Oh, look, you
knew it.
It's her again. You know, it's like she's going on about chemtrails and the fact that they haven't gone to the moon and all of everything. And you're like,
they don't notice.
And it's the linchpin of everything else because it is the only lie that covers everything. Because if there is a controller class above our governments in this world, then it's got, you know, it's got to be something pretty amazing. And if it is our spiritual energy that they're draining, which is why it's fear porn all the time on the TV, and your children are going to get taken away from you,
even if it's subconsciously,
all the time.
And they're about it as well.
They're in denial about it. They say that I'm the scary one.
You're scared.
Yeah.
You're the one's fearful.
Yeah.
And you're like,
but no, I'm ecstatic because, you know, this is wonderment. What can we do with this? But we need to help assist, wake people up. But they won't even touch it. No, they're just shut down, aren't they? Completely.
What do you think would help? What do you think would really help stop
Song and dance.
Yeah.
I
to help it be socially accepted.
Anthony Riley from Nathan Oakley's channel. I met Anthony at the finale.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. He's a very intelligent person. Last year I thought it was half a mug. Then we can spar with silly hat on. But he's an intelligent person.
He's a lovely fella.
And the education, as our kids are farmed out from the age of 2, nursery, 600, £1,200 if you own your own house. A load of bollocks.
Yeah.
What?
But it's a system, and people can't see that it is because they're just up to their neck in it, trying to pay the bills.
Skin. I used to be rich. No, it's anyway. But it's what they're taught at school.
So I saw a bunch of schoolboys on the train 2 days ago, little kids with their rucksacks on, and we was all packed on like sardines. And this boy said, "Oh," he said, "I've got one of them time-lapse cameras," and he's saying, "Can you believe the stars go in circles?" Telling all his friends, and he's saying, "And we're moving at this." So as he got off the train, I thought, right, I've got one leaflet left in my bag, flat earth. I went, so we could drop this as he got off. He went,
What, you started out, it was his?
Yeah,
you started out.
I didn't want to shame him in front of his friends like, flat earth.
I like that. I love it.
Look, you dropped this. And he went, did I? I went, read it. But then I thought, you know, he needs a wider perspective. Because he's so fascinated at that young age with the time lapse, and
I love it.
You can't bear him being fooled, can you?
No.
Getting back to flat smacking.
Yeah. Go on, Marilyn.
Roxanne said it on whether it's Jason's Globe or Harry's. She said it's in the street because internet can pull us all go bosh. And
That's it. We have to meet up person to person.
When I had to take my hat off, all of them, they went, Harry and Jason, for a month. Roxanne,
marvellous, didn't they?
and the kid, what's his name?
Terry.
Terry.
Oh, he was great on the guitar, wasn't he? Teddy.
Rubin, everyone.
Yeah, they were all great.
Right, and when you say, you know, it takes to get on the street and talk to people.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. Because you said it 3 weeks ago, they can go bosh the internet, and we got
that brings us on to another perfect subject that I want to mention. Actually, I just want to put this in there.
Good.
Has anyone else had the notification from YouTube about Article 13? Because I did last night before I went to sleep. I went on my YouTube, I went onto the homepage, and in the little pop-up box in the corner was, do you want to read this about Article 13? Learn more or dismiss? And I went, is this one of those learn more things? And then they put it onto my account, so now I'm under the scrutiny of that or whatever. So I went, well, I'll have a gander and press click, learn more. I was then taken to a page by YouTube which told me to save my internet. I showed you this. I've let you clap eyes on it. Hashtag save your internet. YouTube is now telling us to save our internet because apparently our internet's going to be taken away from us as we know it. Yeah.
Cunning bastards.
If you, I will find the link. If you go to the YouTube, I think it's called the Creator Academy, because when the link took me to a video, but in the title of the video, it was.
I've got to interrupt you. There's a USA channel that's going to take over Facebook, YouTube.
Go on. What one's that?
It's all hidden. When I start inboxing, walking and giving the message, it's going to erupt. So YouTube, Facebook, Google, you're fucked. Big time. Big time.
It's the streets where it's at. It's the streets where it's at. So that Article 13 is telling us to save our internet. It's going to affect education videos, music videos, a lot. They're censoring everything that we're doing. A lot.
There's another. There'll always be other avenues, but they're not making life easy for us.
No, they're not. And within the next couple of years, I think it's probably going to change the face of how we use the internet. So if you do see the Article 13, have a look. I'll be in the chat room in a minute and get some of your feedback. And if you've got any questions for the girls as well, I want you to put those in caps so that I can ask the girls various questions. So I just wanted to put that in there because we were talking about internet censorship and freedom of speech.
Roxanne, there's always someone bigger than them.
Yeah.
Please believe me.
Oh, I do.
We know.
I do.
Of course.
I do. I think it's like tier management.
Be positive.
Of, tier 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
Vibrations. We won't lay down on our backs.
Well done. Well, it's true.
We won't
United
surrender.
we stand, divided we fall. We're in a flat round, we're not on a ball. And together we see truth. Oh, united we stand, divided we fall. We're in a flat round, we're not on a ball. And together we see truth.
Oh yeah, I love it. Your rendition from Chattin there, Marilyn there. If you want to check that tune out, check out iTunes. I'll pop this. Their album will be out soon.
It will be, and it's called "Shut Your Effing Mouth" to the government, authorities, and the bullshit that you squeak. Do us all a favour. Shut your effing beats.
See.
Put that in your pipe and smoke
There you go. You can package this up in so many ways. You can deliver the truth in so many ways. It doesn't have to be obtrusive or offensive to people.
No.
You know?
But we want to live from our hearts. You know what I mean? That's the frequency, not in this
prison.
Yes.
Everyone's in prison.
Ego mentality.
Haiti, look what they've done to Haiti in Jamaica. Jamaicans can't get out of that prison. Just all the musicians coming over. Diabolical what's going on. When we go to America, how many UK people have to queue up with their grandkids, daughters and kids, Disney World or Disneyland, and they make you feel like you're entering a prison. And I've told Americans, I said, well, why do they act like the immigration? Trump's building a wall.
That's what I said. I think people should just walk away and not buy into it in the first place.
30 years. America's been like that with the UK. We get our ticket, we pay a lot of money to go to USA, and we're treated like it's terrible.
Second-rate citizens.
I guarantee you, Roxanne, you get a lot of people say, yes, she's right.
But that's it. But it's no good keep getting anxious at all the nonsense that's going on out there until you bring it back to a personal level. We are
the USA have got a lot to answer for. So
but we've got answers for ourselves.
If we don't speak up about it, about the how we go to,
but we can't do that in an angry vibe. We've got to come from
angry. I'm speaking.
No, not you. But I'm saying if you get too het up about things, nothing's going to get solved.
But you never thought of it, did you? You would have thought of it. I'm doing it. I'm 65 years of age. I'm getting out there.
Love it.
Brilliant.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Big time. I've got a couple of messages from people that are unsure of who's who. As with, I gather they know who I am. I don't think I need to say who I am. But would you all just run through who your online names? You don't have to give me your government names. But
our corpse names.
Can you sit forward and let everyone know who you are first?
Sure. Hi, I'm Rose-Tinted Monocle, and I'm only here because the Globe Live Tour UK inspired me to actually say, hi, I'm here. I'm no longer behind the scenes.
I love that. That's self-evident of this working, that it's given people like you the confidence to stand up and be counted for, and not sit quietly, each night suffering in silence. And no, but
it's true.
Here you are having this conversation with us now, and we're now, schmoozing
flat chatting.
And we're now flat chatting. I love it. Chatting flat. So the Globe Live Tour brought you out. Can you let
Hi, I'm Cosmic Cat, and once you go flat, you can't possibly go back. Feet on solid ground. Wise internal map. We're all playing the game of life in this three-dimensional realm. Let love and curiosity take over the hijacked helm.
Love it. I love it. I love it. High five, babe. High five. I love that. And who are you, gorgeous girlie?
Well, I'm an old comer. I sat on the stool because of my condition with a camp chair. God bless Reuben. First one, London Hyde Park. Good people. Chair, giving out leaflets. London, Brighton, Bath and Bristol. Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Bath and Bristol, brilliant. Bath, Bristol, brilliant. Love it.
And to get out there in the streets and chat is the best way, as Roxanne said 3 weeks ago.
Planting seeds.
Internet can go bosh because of free speech. They can't attack anyone talking about it in the street.
That's right. Can't stop us.
So is it Sunday?
Yeah, this Sunday, the 25th of November. We're going to be at Hyde Park from midday onwards. So if you know you're not on a ball and you want to come one, come all, we'll be there. You can come and have a discussion. You can come and talk about it with other people, or just come down and show solidarity and ever meet up with other people that know you're not on a ball.
There you go.
No pressure on anyone to do any activism. Even if you just want to turn up and just watch what goes on.
Yeah, but the Activism brand name, it's not Activism.
It's got to go. I think we've got to let the Activism. New Year's resolution, come up with another name for what we do, because I don't feel like an activist.
No,
I don't feel like one.
No,
it's much more
mainstream media, military, propaganda bollocks.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's not. Doesn't really encapsulate who we are.
We're truth seekers, aren't we?
Yes, definitely.
Spreading awareness.
So stick your answers on a self-addressed envelope.
Your food's going to kill you. Your water's going to make you dumb.
Yeah.
Vaccines are mutilating our children, and don't ever get a flu jab. It just is not worth it. And it's just what the what is in that stuff that they're spraying us?
Well,
you know, it's like, what is, how long now? Over a decade.
That's
They've
why
been
you've got
doing
the
it.
energy they're interfering
got to
with.
treat alcohol.
Definitely.
Yes.
Although,
Marilyn, I've got a request in the chat room for you.
Yeah.
Marilyn, will you come back to Bristol and Bath and do activism with me? I love you.
Oh, who's that?
Robin.
Oh, 10 years.
I just want to read out a few comments that are in here. Sorry, my dog's just whinging in the background because I think he just wants to be really involved. 007 Richie from Tenerife says, "Oh my word, look at these women." Amanda says, "I have a huge smile on my face from that. Big hearts." Let's see. Someone better make that into a sound clip.
yeah, we could sing it on Sunday. United.
That would be good, wouldn't it? That would be good.
The Brotherhood of Flat Men.
Everyone in the chat room saying hello to you all. You're all getting into
hello.
hellos.
Did they enjoy it?
As well. That's another question as well. Have you enjoyed it so far? And yes, again, I love you, Marilyn. Honoured to meet all of you ladies.
Oh. I wonder if my kids are watching. I doubt it.
Yeah, you've got
Houston, can you hear me? Well, have you made it up to the... What do you do? Have you found any rock? I can't hear you, Houston.
Okay, so we've got lots of people in the chat room. So I'm going to give everyone in the chat room a shout out so you can see who's watching us this evening. So Amanda Effie, thanks so much for tuning us in. Nora, you're in the chat room as well. Nora.
Oh.
Luke Kennedy, Chocolate Saying is in the chat room. Team Gast is in the chat room. Sleeping Warrior Anthony's in the chat room as well. Eco Dave Media is in the chat room. Nathan Oakley's in the chat room as well.
Nathan, I met him in Leamington Spa.
Oh,
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
He owes me a drink, Nathan.
Yeah? You did?
Cost me.
Big shout out to John Thor in the chat room as well. Hello, my darling. And to 007 from Tenerife, he's in there. Amanda's Panda.
That's
in
where
the
we're
chat room.
going, aren't we? That's where we're going to start the
Tenerife.
European, maybe.
Oh, I lived there when I was 18.
Yeah, get ready, Rich.
Selling
The
time.
Flat Pack's coming to town.
Yeah.
European tour.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
We've had such a lovely evening.
Miles Davis, thanks so much for tuning in. Luke
We
Kennedy.
need more women.
More
Harry
women.
from
Please.
Global. Said
Please,
more
yeah,
women.
more women, definitely. Robin,
Karen and
lifting the
Patricia's
lids.
going to come.
Stephen Wakes, thanks for tuning in as well. Jin CBR1 from Japan, thanks very much for tuning in. Rune Thornson, thanks for tuning in. Flat Earth Travis, hello my darling, how are you? Thanks for being here with us. I don't want to miss anyone out.
I've got people from Croatia, Hungary. They should bring them over. It's going to be a European tour.
I like the sound of that.
A couple of countries I can't pronounce. It sounds like I'm swearing.
National Memorial Gardens, thanks for tuning in. Paul Marriage Channel 2, thanks for tuning in as well. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anyone. I'm Marie, thanks for tuning in as well. And AJM, thanks for tuning in. Mikey Smith, thank you very much for being here. Conrado as well, thanks for being here with us, my darling. John Benson, thanks for tuning in. Richie B, Effie, Kill the Beast, thanks for tuning in. Kill the Beast got a big shout. Hooray!
Kill that
beast. Is he coming to Speaker's Corner as well?
Yes.
Cool. See you on Sunday, my
There's
darling.
about 20 people.
Yeah, love it. Love it. Writing numbers. I like the sound of that.
Can I leave you with a little ditty?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Vote on the back of the menu. It's all a bit scratched.
Go for it, my darling. Go for it.
Now, what I'm about to tell you will put your head in a spin, your knickers in a twist, and your atlas in the bin. Do you really think we're on a ball spinning 1,000 miles per hour? 67 million miles around the spinning sun? Go take a cold shower. You've been hoodwinked. Don't cry, dry your eye. It's exciting. Now we can find the truth. Leave the Muppets to live the lie.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I hope you all enjoyed that too. Tapper 777, thank you for tuning in as well. Sorry if I've missed you. Richard Lopez, hello my darling.
Hey.
Thanks
Hello,
for tuning
Richard.
in.
Sorry about the mud flats. When Roxanne told me, I didn't realise that they
Richard, I'm telling
took
you.
away all that history away as to that this evening. I
It's
said there could have been
mind-boggling.
Italian, Spanish living in.
It's mind-boggling.
UK.
It really is.
Was they
And there's no
buried?
getting away from that evidence as well. It's almost like, you know, if they're starting to use CGI and stuff on us, I'll be like,
That's
ah,
right,
yeah.
innit?
But
Can
it's
I
like,
take-
hold on.
Can I take you to a place after all of you, Hyde Park to St Martin's Lane?
Yes,
The
please.
same mud floods, the hidden streets.
Yeah.
You could take photographs, and it's a
Okay.
hidden secret tourist.
All right, Richie,
All
you heard it
these
here
people
first.
that-
Hyde Park. We
You
can
know
all
the
go.
two-
Yeah, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go and we'll film it. We'll
You
go
know
and
the
we'll film
tourist
it.
board, they don't put it there so like
No, of course not.
by the Freemasons and Jesuits.
Okay.
This is a street, and I've seen the sign. I went, and this was on a gangster tour about Soho. The person went, Marilyn, did you know there's a street? I went,
Underneath
oh,
there.
leave me
Are you
alone.
taking a pic?
No, I'll take you there.
I'm going.
You
Yeah, I'm
show.
going.
You can take
Even if it's
photos.
dark, should we go there before or after? Can you go in the dark? Because by the
Oh, because it's
No,
been dark.
Get-
St
it's dark.
Martin's Lane, it's a little gem. No one, and I'll take you. Oh,
let's link up before it then, so
Yeah.
we've got the
Yeah.
daylight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe if we're late, it's
It's
because we're there. But
fascinating.
we'll be live. We'll be live,
This
so
is
you'll
from
know
a
where we are.
this was from a Londoner that told me about Soho and central London.
See, so this might be some bits and pieces.
Well,
that
the
are off the beaten
tourists,
track a
they
little
go-
bit, yeah.
They let them pay 80 quid, Madam Two Swords and the
Dave
space-
Mannell, let's message Dave Mannell as well, because I know Dave Mannell
on the red bus round London.
well. Yeah.
They don't see
They don't mention
London.
it. No, they don't. They give them the
So,
tourists.
talking
don't
to
they?
Dave Mannell.
Yes, please. That's the next thing we want to mention
We
as well.
are doing truth talks.
Yeah.
At the Vanbrugh in Greenwich. Our guest speaker on Thursday the 29th is Cassie Crowhurst.
Love it. Love it.
She covers a lot of things on her channel, from vaccinations to chemtrails to.
Will you send me the link for that channel?
I will
put it in
do,
the
yes.
description? Yeah.
But she's going to talk on raising our vibrations.
Love it.
We need to raise our vibes to feel good about what we're doing
Yes.
instead of
Being
anxiety.
yes, oppressed.
You know, we need
Yeah.
to feel good about
Yeah.
what we're doing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and Dave's talking about
Names
distilled water.
actually is a truth.
Distilled water on Thursday the 29th. And yeah, come along. It's a lovely, lovely
You can have a
environment.
drink, have a vibe, schmooze with some other like-minded people, which is a breath
Absolutely.
of fresh air.
Yeah,
It is for me. You know, when I do link ups and I link up with other like-minded people, I'm surfing on a wave of euphoria. It kind of helps me suffer the non well, let's say
Curious,
it's a mundane
the
environment,
non-curious.
yeah, and I feel suffocated in that mundane environment, and I end up searching for like-minded people
Absolutely.
to then dive back into the mundane crap and be able to deal with
And
it.
we're not doing no harm.
No, not doing no
We're
harm.
not putting funds to
No,
people
no, no,
to
no, no
get
guns,
money out
no
of them.
violence. Yeah,
If people want to earn money, so
Yeah.
what?
yeah.
You know, give them something. It's called sharing and caring.
Well
That's
said.
the major
Well said.
aim.
You know,
That's the
you've got
major
these
aim of it all.
arseholes go, you can't earn no money on a channel. I go, give them something. If I ain't enough money, I'll go,
Yeah,
yeah.
me too.
They do a lot of research.
And the more you give, the more you get.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It's
That's exactly right.
coming from a
Yeah.
place of abundance.
Yes, I fully agree. So all the details for Kat and for Dave's link up are in the description. That's on the 29th of November. We'll be at Speaker's Corner on the 25th of November, Sunday. So this Sunday and Thursday, we've got vibes going on for flat chatting. And maybe a little bit of an extra bonus of going on a little adventure with Marilyn.
With Marilyn, God knows why we're going to find out.
Oh, you would say that. Abundance and...
No, we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
I found that with my friends.
I'm loving it. I'm
Oh,
loving
she
it.
has to say
I'm loving
something.
it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Just
So-
keep quiet.
That's it.
We're off now.
Keep quiet.
We'll see you on
Oh.
Sunday and we'll see you on Thursday. Midday
take
onwards
away
from
my
Speaker's
sunshine,
Corner.
please.
Aw.
Silly.
We'll be there on
Oh,
Sunday,
sit down.
midday, for flat
Looking
smacking,
forward
red
to it.
pilling, meeting
I'm
other people,
totally
and the
intrigued
29th
about
of
St. Martin's
November
Lane. I'm totally intrigued.
to like Kat said,
I just
truth
said,
talks, we have a guest
very
speaker,
sweet.
drinks and schmooze. This is what's lovely
it
about
would
when
be,
family
wouldn't it?
members are flat earthers. You're getting to see it in this
Family.
Us family.
We are family.
So I want to give a massive thank you to everybody that's tuned in to us this evening.
Well,
Well, 4 ladies chatted flat on the sofa. I hope you enjoy it. Maybe we'll do this again sometime. I enjoyed it. I don't know about you.
Such a lovely evening.
Yeah,
And beforehand as well.
And do you know what? I can think of another couple of ladies that could have been here tonight but weren't
Karen
here.
and Patricia.
Karen and Patricia, and also a couple of Londoner ladies.
Oh, lovely.
What's their names?
Ruben's partner Cynthia. And
Oh,
Andrea.
yeah. Where you go?
yeah.
The sofa's big enough.
Big
We've
enough.
just got
Listen,
to get a high more
Andrea, look, Andrea, yeah, I've just got another couple of science books underneath. Look, we've got more sofa space and more sofa space there. So we've got room for more ladies.
Flat chat.
Yeah, come and chat some flat with us. All right. Massive
flat
love and
ladies
respect
on
to you all. This has been Roxanne, Marianne, Kat, and Marilyn. We've been chatting flat with you all this evening. Massive love and respect to you all.
Bye.